So we're on Market Street today. We're going to talk about a building that not a lot of people know about, but actually has a really cool story that goes along with it. We're going to talk about the Oddfellows building. So here in the 801, the Oddfellows met here. Well, they met in that building, which was actually over there. I'll explain.
Oddfellows Hall crawled across Market Street, one of the biggest brick and stone buildings ever to be relocated. For months, they've been trying to sell the building. They hope someone will put it to good use at its new location on the same side of the street as Gastronomy's Market Street Grill.
So not only did they pick up the building and move it across the street, they actually rotated it 180 degrees and put it where it now sits. So the Oddfellows, a fraternal organization in the 1700s, came from England. In the 1700s, England and the United States, not the best of pals, so they split up. You had a lot of fraternal organizations back then. You had the Elks, the Eagles, the Masons, but the Oddfellows were one of the oldest, reportedly and undocumented, dating all the way back to the Roman Emperor Nero. So the Masons at the time were considered to be like more of a white collar, kind of more of the hoits-and-toits, where the Oddfellows were considered the blue collar in the 1800s. So in 1891, the Oddfellows built this bad boy for $41,000. In fact, that's only like 1.2 million in today's standards. Here in the SLC, that can't even get you a split level anymore. I mean, that's a pretty good deal. So at the time of the building's construction, there were about 3 million Oddfellows across the United States. Great Depression hits, membership starts to decline, largely due to membership dues. By the 1970s, there were only about 200,000 left. It's like 33 degrees out here, but I literally can't resist. Here, put the here we go. So in 1819, the Independent Order of the Oddfellows was born. The Independent Order of the Oddfellows, like many groups at the time, only for white dudes. They also excluded Mormons and Catholics. But after only a couple of years, they became the first fraternal organization and secret society to allow women.
Oh, like me!
The Oddfellows were considered to be more of a blue-collar group. Their dues were less. Their people were more of the middle class. So you actually had a lot of notable members in the Oddfellows. You had Wyatt Earp, Charlie Chaplin, Charles Lindbergh, not to mention several U.S. presidents, including Grant, McKinley, Hayes, Roosevelt. Who am I forgetting? Oh, Warren G. Harding. Don't forget that dude. So even though the Oddfellows moved out in the 1970s, the building was still considered a historic landmark and was literally standing in the way when the federal government wanted to build that ugly thing. It's like a cube. Do the math. You want to build a big ugly courthouse, but you've got a historic building standing in the way. Weighs about 5 million pounds, 3 stories tall, and it's over 100 years old. What to do? Well, turns out moving it, actually not a bad idea.
The Oddfellows Hall is now out of the way of a new federal courthouse expansion project. The federal agency called GSA decided it was worth trying to save at a cost of about $7 million.
It strikes me that spending all the money they've paid to move this place, I see it 15 years from now still being a vacant building and the city's going to have to pay to knock it down.
But here we are more than a decade later. The building is fully in use. It's been completely renovated and actually a very modern office space right here in downtown SLC. So there you go, that's the Oddfellows building. Thanks to our co-workers at KSL for sharing the archive footage with us on that one. Like it, subscribe to it, comment below on what you want to see next time on Cool Stuff in Utah. Nope, it's not waterproof. It's so cold. Definitely not waterproof. So cold.